Iris Smith, who had made no move ever since entering the Eternal Sect region, finally took action. She slowly flew out, surrounded by the extreme power of ice. She looked like a fairy who came out of a 10,000-year-old mysterious ice palace.
Now.
Understood.
A dozen women from the Emerald Lotus Sect responded. Different powers of nature appeared on their bodies as they flew toward the abyss.
That's great. The Emerald Lotus Sect has made a move. We will be saved this time. I agree. The Emerald Lotus Sect is a super region with superb talents. Moreover, they also instigated this event. They will surely... what are you doing?
Some people felt a glimmer of hope, but the next moment they screamed miserably. The Emerald Lotus Sect did not aim its attack at the strange flying insects. Instead, they attacked those that came here with them. A streak of sword energy unexpectedly broke the flesh of a young man. His blood splattered everywhere. Then, through the gap, a flying insect the size of a finger penetrated his wound and swam along his blood veins. The angry man suddenly calmed down with no expression on his face. He also stopped attacking. Like a walking dead, he hovered in the air. Everyone was dumbfounded at the scene.
What are you doing? Why did you attack us?
Some people were quick to react. They angrily questioned them.
How dare the Emerald Lotus Sect sneak an attack on us? You'd better hurry up and explain this. What is going on? That's right. Otherwise, we will work together and make sure the Emerald Lotus Sect doesn't get to escape this place. Damn it. The Emerald Lotus Sect swore by their inner demons that they wouldn't betray us. What's going on?
Everyone was confused and couldn't figure out why the Emerald Lotus Sect attacked them. However, some were possessed by flying insects and lost consciousness, while most were taken aback at a sudden sneak attack. Everyone from the Emerald Lotus Sect was expressionless and had no intention of explaining. They waved the thin swords in their hands and struck out rows of dazzling sword energy.
How dare you? You're pissing me off. Let's kill them.
The crowd was furious to the extreme. They ignored the threat of the strange flying insects and chose to fight with the Emerald Lotus Sect instead. However, they were no match for the geniuses from the Emerald Lotus Sect. Moreover, with the flying insects still attacking them, they were even less a rival to the Emerald Lotus Sect. In the blink of an eye, the flying insects possessed more than a dozen people and turned them into walking dead. Strange. Everything was too strange. A sharp voice rang out. In front of Zane Martel stood an Emerald Lotus Sect disciple dressed in a long white dress. She held a spear the width of a bowl and waved it at him. Terrifying spear radiance shot like a crescent moon in the sky and charged toward Zane Martel.
I'd like to see what you're hiding up your sleeves.
Zane Martel scoffed coldly. The spear radiance and the fist collided and were defeated instantly. However, Zane Martel's momentum did not decrease. He suddenly exerted force and punched the woman's chest, piercing through her chest. Zane Martel was not someone who would not pity women. However, he did not intend to hold back when fighting his enemies. Since she was an enemy, regardless of whether she was beautiful, he would kill her. Blood flowed out from the bloody hole in the woman's chest, and soon dyed her snow-white dress red. In the end, she lost all signs of vitality. But then something strange happened. Although she was dead, the woman was still hovering in the air. Her energy was surging and flowing. She waved the long spear in her hand, intending to kill Zane Martel.
Damn it, she isn't human. She's like a ghost.
Zane Martel was shocked at the scene. The others were shocked too.
What's going on from the Emerald Lotus Sect? What happened to them? Are they immortals? How could they not die when they're so badly injured?
Zane Martel grew impatient. He formed 5 claws with his right hand and tried to grab the hard one. Zane Martel grabbed a heart that was still warm and crushed it. As he crushed the heart, the woman from Emerald Lotus Sect finally looked more like a human. She slowly returned to normal, lost her energy, and fell from the sky. Something seemed to be wriggling in Zane Martel's palm.
What? This is...
He opened his palm, surprised to see a flying insect in his palm.
A flying insect? Is it actually a flying insect? Is the Emerald Lotus Sect behaving so weirdly because of the flying insects? Have they been invaded and controlled by the flying insects long ago, leading them to attack us? Did the flying insects manipulate them to gather us here and break the seal to enter the South Sea Dragon Meridian?
After pondering it carefully, Zane Martel's eyes widened, and he couldn't help but gasp. Then he recalled the walking corpses whose willpower was drained he saw when he was traveling to the South Sea Dragon Meridian. His mind suddenly went blank. Their reactions were almost exactly the same as those attacked by the flying insects now. Did everything strange happen due to the flying insects under the abyss? With this thought in mind, Zane Martel grabbed a person who had been invaded by a flying insect and examined him. Sure enough, the person's energy and willpower had completely disappeared. A conspiracy. All of this was a conspiracy.
This is a conspiracy by the Emerald Lotus sect and the two super regions, or should I say a conspiracy of the flying insects. They led us here to kill us.
Some people also came to the same conclusion and voiced it out. However, they didn't think about this as thoroughly as Zane Martel did. Hearing that, everyone else was dumbfounded. They felt a chill running down their spines, and their skins were instantly covered in goosebumps. It was as if they realized they all had become prey at that moment.
What? We were set up? The Emerald Lotus sect is the culprit behind this?
No, it's not the Emerald Lotus sect, but the flying insects underneath. Damn it, we fell into a trap. We must escape now.
Let's run!
Everyone panicked. They could no longer bother about the South Sea Dragon Meridian and Dragonbone when their lives were at stake. They must run. As they fled the scene, many were invaded by the flying insects again. Within the confines of the narrow passageway, the panicked exodus was a desperate scramble for escape. The explosion that followed reverberated through the corridor, flinging bodies into chaotic spirals as they were tossed through the air, vulnerable to the invading swarm of insects. As the dust settled, figures emerged from the passage, silhouetted against the flickering torchlight. Blocking the only route to freedom were Adam Carlson and Atkinson Green, formidable leaders known throughout the super regions. Their presence alone stifled any hope of evasion, drawing anger and frustration from those trapped.
Now.
Their orders spurred their disciples into action. From behind them, a storm of fists, kicks, and flashing swords assaulted the trapped crowd. It wasn't a fight to kill, but a sinister strategy to allow the insects to infiltrate their victims.
Damn it, dealing with the Emerald Lotus sect alone was hell. But now we face these two super region martial artists.
We can't just die here, not like this.
If I'm going down, I'm taking you with me.
Miserable cries and defiant shouts echoed through the chaos as some resolved to fight to the bitter end, turning the narrow passage into a bloody battleground of survival. Meanwhile, Zane Martel chose a different path, retreating to the sidelines to wait and observe. Around him, the elements responded to his unspoken commands, unleashing wind and thunder that obliterated any insect foolish enough to draw near.
Adam Carlson and Atkinson Green turned into puppets by these insects. Their appearance here suggests they've wiped out those who chose the other routes. But who holds such power? I won't let them take me down without a fight.
Yet amidst the turmoil and unanswered questions, one disturbing thought lingered. Could these insects truly be orchestrating such a malevolent scheme? Zane Martel shook off the unsettling notion and focused on his own survival.
Get the hell away from me.
Within the narrow confines of the passage, panic and chaos reigned supreme. The explosive force that followed reverberated through the corridor, hurling bodies into chaotic spirals as they were flung through the air, vulnerable to the encroaching swarm of insects.
What's that?
Did you see that? They were thrown out like rag dolls.
This isn't good. Those insects, they're everywhere.
Their orders spurred their disciples into action. From behind them, a storm of fists, kicks, and flashing swords assaulted the trapped crowd. It wasn't a fight to kill, but a sinister strategy to allow the insects to infiltrate their victims.
They've got us cornered.
Are they under the insect's control too?
If they're here, they must have wiped out the other passages. Then, who is the mastermind behind this? Who can be so powerful? Could these creatures really orchestrate all this? Stay away from me.
In the distance, Ning Qiancheng of Topmost City erupted into fury. His black warhammer, now enlarged several times over, swung with devastating force toward the top martial artists from the super regions who dared to assail him.
Help! Someone!
There's too many of them.
Need to get out of here.
What is that climbing up?
All attention suddenly shifted to the dark abyss below.
Oh no, what is that thing?
It's enormous. What is it?
A colossal black shadow slowly squirmed up from the abyss, its body blood red and nearly as large as the entire chasm itself.
Is that the soul-devouring insect?
On the back of the soul-devouring insect stood 31 men clad in ominous black robes, each exuding a powerful aura. Tension thickened as a colossal threat emerged, casting a dark shadow over their desperate struggle for survival. What sinister force controlled this monstrous insect and its formidable minions? The survivors faced an unprecedented challenge as they confronted the terrifying reality that their enemies were more than mere human adversaries.
How generous of you to plot such a massive event. You must be the culprit behind this, aren't you?
Zane Martel stepped out and asked in a cold voice. He took off his black hat and revealed his true appearance. He was only about 23 or 24 years old, very young. There were traces of strange glowing light on his face. His eyes were deep as if they were going to cave in.
Hey, I'm Carter Brown. What's your name? It's impressive that you could see through my plot. Once I let the soul-devouring shadow invade your body, you will stay by my side like the others do.
Carter Brown admitted Zane Martel's claims and was arrogant about it. Not only did he want everyone else's willpower, but he also coveted Zane Martel's willpower and body. Everyone's faces twitched at that revelation. They had never expected Celestial Veil to show up, and many were overcome with despair upon learning this.
Aren't you afraid that you'd expose yourself by doing this and make the world angry at you?
Angry at me? Why should I be afraid of that? Why should I worry about making trash like you angry at me? Besides, I've already succeeded twice before your batch. This batch is also the largest. Once I drain all your willpower, I can finally complete my cultivation.
Everyone felt they had been struck by lightning upon hearing that. Succeeded twice before? Did that mean there were already 2 previous batches of victims from Celestial Veil? Now all their questions seemed to find answers. The Talents Alliance sent chills down Zane Martel's spine because all its members had fallen victim to the soul-devouring shadow, having their willpower drained away. As for the newly established formation on the South Sea Dragon Meridian, it might have been set up by Celestial Veil to divert suspicion. The argument among the 3 individuals in front of the stone platform at the South Sea Dragon Meridian was merely a staged act by Carter Brown to create an illusion of reality that no one would doubt. What do you want from us? Elijah White and several disciples of Topmost City who were still alive stepped forward together and asked Carter Brown.
What do you want from us?